So interesting about Deanta Frencher. Deanta and his twin brother, Devante Frencher and Deanta Frencher, twin brothers on the same card, both making their debuts. What a big night for the Frencher family. I wonder if Mom and Dad are here.
I would imagine Mama and Papa French are in the building
Let's
somewhere.
say hello to our round card girl, Shannon. Ladies and gentlemen, this first bout is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Your referee is Mike England. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, Eric Robirds. And his opponent standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, Deanta Frencher. Your referee is Mike England.
All the way in here, all the way in here. All right, fellas, gave you instruction dress. Any questions at all? Touch them up right there. Go back to your corner, come out fight all the way back.
Fight number 1, Kansas City Fighting Alliance 27. Robirds versus Frencher. Here we go.
Deanta Frencher comes out in a southpaw stance, Robirds in an orthodox stance. Both fighters seem to be very technical. You know, one thing about a little guy surviving in an MMA gym is you'll notice women and little guys are often very technical. And the reason why they're very technical is because they're constantly going against bigger people in the gym. So it's kind of fun to see these little guys go at it because you'll see that it is their debut, but they'll look like they've had 10 amateur fights just because they're always being so technical in the gym.
Absolutely. This does not look like two guys that are making their debut.
No, I mean, they're moving really nice. Deanta moves in a real nice southpaw stance. So does Robins. Robins is real tight and orthodox stance. Eats a jab from Deanta. Both fighters just feeling each other out here, trying to figure out the range, which is pretty awesome to see for guys that are 2 debuts here. They're actually looking for range.
Robirds looking to land some of those body kicks early on. Frencher doing a good job of blocking.
Nice check hook from Deanta Frencher as he steps off. Bite down on your mouthpiece.
Throw it to the head now. Eric, throw that next
Left hand by Frencher. I'm always intrigued by the southpaw versus orthodox striking component.
Boom, a big kick from Robirds, followed with a counter jab from Deanta.
Good left hand by Frencher as they clinch for the first time in the fight. Quickly separate. Good body kick.
Yeah, both fighters are attacking that open stance. That's one thing when you have a southpaw clashing with an orthodox fighters. You notice they have that big open side, so a lot of back body kicks from both fighters here. Boom, big shot to the body from Deanta Frencher.
Both these guys look so composed early on.
Boom. And a big cross from Frencher. Frencher scores. Boom. Frencher looks to kick, and Roberts answers with a kick of his own.
A lot of times in this open stance here, it feels like the only 2 strikes you can land are jabs and body kicks. You feel so far away with all your strikes.
Yeah, and it really kind of negates that leg kick. If you're nice big cross from Deanta Frencher.
That hurt him. He's hurt.
That's a big punch. That'll wake you up.
I'm so impressed by both these guys. That was an awesome first round.
Yeah, great first round from both fighters. Both fighters move really well on their feet, comfortably on their feet. You were talking earlier about the strikes that are open in an open stance. You're exactly right. The jab and the body kicks are there. One thing that's weird about the low kick game in an open stance is you run a huge risk of beating when trying to throw a back low kick. Yeah. So it really messes with that range because a lot of times you can sit outside of range, fight far away, and still touch low kicks and still touch jabs. Yeah. But in this case here, the range is a little bit odd because you need to find a closer range to score the body kick because you have to get a little closer. So it's just it's a chess match.
And being able to set up strikes, it limits the ability to do a lot of different things that that you'd be able to do with two guys fighting southpaw, or two guys fighting orthodox. Great first round turned in by both these guys, Robirds and Frencher. As we get ready for round 2. Picking up where they left off, center of the cage. I've yet to see any clinching or grappling. Good check by Robirds.
Oh,
big left hand.
Big cross from Frencher. They clashed shins really hard. I don't know if you noticed that, Turner. They both threw leg kicks and clashed shins. It looked like it hurt Frencher a little bit, but Frencher answered with a big cross, and Robirds with a big body kick. That scored. Big cross from Frencher. Round 1 was a filling out process. Round 2, we have first blood.
It looks like Robirds starting to work some of those inside and outside leg kicks. And Frencher's doing a great job of countering off those. Starting to throw that left hand a lot more. Good left hand to the body. Good. Robirds is having success when he comes forward, and we might see a little. Thought we were going to see some grappling there for a second. These little guys.
I definitely want to see these guys mix it up on the floor. They're very technical on their feet. I imagine their ground games are going to look good too.
In a fight like this, from a scoring standpoint, I mean, it's razor thin. Both are landing, both are scoring. A takedown could be the difference in winning and losing.
Yeah, I mean, with this type of fight, they're both just kind of playing pop shot, and they're both landing little shots here and there. You know, one thing is Robirds' mouth is bloodied up here, and, you know, whether the shot was more impactful or not compared to what he was throwing, it does say something to the judges.
Yep.
Big exchange there. Boom, and a 1-1-2 from Frencher.
Both of these guys are landing the majority of their strikes when they're moving forward.
Yep, they're both operating slightly outside of a range to where they can't touch each other, so it makes for a really awkward come-in. One thing I'm noticing that they both do well is they're both feinting a little bit and showing jabs to work their way in. But
good body kick by Robirds here.
As you can see, things are starting to pick up here. They're starting to get a little more comfortable.
As we have 30 seconds left in round 2, cardio starts to become more important as we get into the deeper water here.
Yes, the actual fight will make you fatigued, but also just the process of this being your first time underneath the lights will also fatigue you. So yeah, you got 2 factors going at you in your debut here.
Doesn't look like they've slowed down at all, but we'll see as the second round here comes to a close.
Yeah, and a technical second round. Good stuff from both fighters on the feet.
I absolutely hate this question, but I will ask for argument's sake. If you were scoring this, I'm going to actually phrase it differently because I hate the if you were scoring this fight, who would be winning. If you're in the corner of both these guys and you know how close the fight is, what are you telling your fighter that he has to do to secure the victory in the third round?
Depending on the fighters.
Also, incredible question by me.
It is a great question. You know, depending on the fighter, which you have to know your fighter a little bit, one thing I would like to see Frencher do is get right on the outside of the range and focus more on his pillars and his defense and his guard. Look to move forward without using any offense, but more of a big pillar, parry, block type defense. Let Robirds throw a little bit, then move forward with some calculated shots. You know, that's a lot to ask for on somebody on their debut. I think these guys mostly are just looking to, you know, attack with offense, which is, you know, it's great. They're both doing an awesome job, but it's a little awkward to hit each other right outside the range. So I would just encourage a little bit more defenses moving forward and some feints on the outside.
We will see if they employ that strategy as we start round 3 here. Kansas City Fighting Alliance 27, Robirds and Frencher kicking us off. Robirds going back to that high kick. You got to think this fight's going to be won in this round right here.
Yeah, definitely. And like you were saying earlier, a takedown would be huge from either guy. You know, with Robirds having the size advantage, I am surprised he's not looking to clinch up and get some sort of takedown.
Yeah.
Frencher's got to be careful ducking low like that. He needs to stay disciplined with his hand tie.
Roberts definitely throwing more volume here in the third round than Frencher.
One thing you'll notice from a fighter is
Head kick. There's a change in level right there for the first time.
and a nice double leg from Frencher. Frencher looking to clasp.
Let's see if he can finish this here.
Roberts warned for grabbing the fence. If he grabs the fence again, he will have a point deducted.
Good
and a big
takedown.
takedown from Frencher.
That's the takedown we were talking about right there with a minute and a half left in this round.
Frencher started with the double leg, couldn't finish, went to a single leg and ran the pipe and cut the corner. Like we were talking about earlier, perfect technique.
Let's see if he can work from top here. As Roberts doing a great job of putting his back on the fence, trying to stand back up.
This takedown is gigantic for the scorecards. If Frencher can spin, let's say, the next 20 to 30 seconds here, this could be the deciding factor of the fight.
Now, if you're Roberts here, you're in full guard, you've committed to it. You have to be throwing up subs left and right here. You know you're losing this round.
Yeah, if you have a minute left here, the last thing I'd be doing is locking up my full guard. I'd be looking to go look for submissions or trying to kick off and stand up.
50 seconds left as he opens the guard now. Let's see if he looks to be offensive from the bottom. Let's see if Frencher can land some shots from the top.
Roberts having an issue getting up here. Frencher is tight on the legs.
30 seconds left in this third round.
Boom. James Krause with perfect instructions there. As you heard, he was telling Frencher to circle to the left. Frencher doing a great job circling to the left and finishes the takedown.
He's passed now here. Almost. Oh.
10 seconds left in the fight here. Ground and pound, Deanta. Finish strong. Ground and pound. 8 seconds. Go.
Short time here, and that'll do it for our first fight of the evening. Kansas City Fighting Alliance 27. Eric Roberts versus Deanta Frencher turned in a great fight. I mean, those guys look like veterans in there.
Yeah, that was an awesome fight. That was a lot of fun to see. Both guys looked awesome. You know, you and me talk about this a lot with the amateur fights, but you know, the amateur fights are all about experience and getting better. And both guys, the sky's the limit as far as you know, growing in the sport and getting better. So I'm excited to see both guys on the card here in the future.
Absolutely. Phenomenal way to kick off Kansas City Fighting Alliance 27. I'm excited for what the rest of the card has in store. If it's anything like what we just saw, I think we're going to be in for a treat, as they say.
That's so cool for him. Super close fight here. Turner, how do you score it? I mean, really, 1 or 2 could have gone either way.
Absolutely. I think 1 and 2 was probably a coin flip. I think that takedown in the third, although there was no real offense mounted off the takedown, I think the act of being in a dominant position for the last half of that round is going to have a big impact for Deanta Frencher, and I think we'll eke him out the victory. But I would not be surprised. We see MMA judging all the time. It could be a 30-27, and that wouldn't be surprising.
Yeah, and honestly, in this fight, which I loved this fight, you know, it was technical. Both guys looked good. They looked sharp. But the reality is neither guy really did anything to each other. So the only significant thing that happened really was a double leg, and you know.
Yeah.
And so honestly, as you want to call the 9 minutes a dead draw, which you very well could, you got to give a double leg some credit.
Absolutely.
So I mean, really, I would score this one for Frencher, but like you were saying, a fight this close, who knows what's going to happen?
Who knows? That's why we show up.
Special shout out to Matt Waters.
Absolutely. Toquinho.
Yeah, Matt Waters just opened up Glory Northland. He just bought a big house with a big backyard and a big barn, and he's actually getting married. So shout out to Matt Waters.
Inspiration to us all. Let's go inside the cage and make this one official.
And we go to the judges' scorecards. All three judges are in agreement and score the bout 29-28. For your winner by unanimous decision, out of the red corner, Deanta Frencher.
Great win for Frencher in his debut.